Hi, I am doing my video discussion on my needs analysis. So my athlete is going to be a tennis player. It's going to be a top 25 ranked player. So for this, tennis players need a lot of lateral movement and forward and backward movement to get across the court. A lot of their movement is going to be side to side to try and volley the ball, getting up the court to get a volley at the net, and then cutting back to get any deep balls or anything like that. So not a lot of jumping at the net or anything. Obviously the net's going to be shorter, so that's not one of the big things we're going to be focused about. But they do jump to get a deep ball potentially, and they jump when they serve. So the big things that we're going to focus on is going to be rotational power. Obviously, they use a lot of their core when they're coming across the body for a hit. They use their core for serving as well. So all of their strength and all their stability is going to come from their core. So that's going to be one of the things we really focus on. Also, we're going to focus on making sure the rotator cuff is strong and sturdy, and making sure that their arm, whichever one they hit with, whether they do a one-handed backhand or two-handed backhand, and then obviously the forearm when they hit in the first place is going to be pretty sound and stable, and be able to withstand the constant motion that they use, and be able to withstand the constant rotation of serving and hitting and overhead motions like that. So also we're going to focus on, obviously we want to try and strengthen to stabilize, but we're also going to work on flexibility to make sure that, they get the required motion, and, that'll take a little bit of stress off of their core and off their back. If they're flexible enough to get back there, they won't have so much wear and tear on their bones. So we're going to do a little bit of flexibility training with them as well. So our first few weeks are going to be really focused on building power. So their intensity is going to be around 90% of their max that they're able to lift. So with this, we're going to do 4 sets of 3 exercises with a minute of rest in between each. So our breakdown days are going to be our heavier days will have 7 exercises. 4 of those will be big lifts. The other ones will be accessory lifts. So you'll do a squat one day, and then along with that squat you'll do a deadlift, and then we'll do hip thrust and goblet squats will probably be one big day. And then the accessory exercises that you would add on to that would be a 4-way hip and leg extensions and hamstring curls. So with that, we'll do 4 sets of 3 on the heavy lifts with exercises. And so with all your squats and things like that, we'll do 4 sets. You'll take a minute break in between each set at least. And then with our accessory sets, we'll do 3 sets of 10 on those. And then moving from that, we will go, our other days will be 5 exercises. So we'll do 3 big lifts that day, and then the other 2 will be accessory lifts, and kind of working on our agility there. So we'll do a bench press with tricep extensions, and then rows, and then obviously doing your accessory exercises bicep curls and lateral pull downs, things like that, along with the agility ladder. So I think our agility ladder will kind of serve as the conditioning portion / cool down. So closer to the end of it, we'll do lighter stuff to really work on footwork of getting up and down the court, and go ahead and start imposing and including some of the movements that they do that are smaller in tennis into the workout, so that they can see how that will build and help in their game. And then the warm-up will consist of a dynamic stretching session. So we'll do some stretching, and then we'll have them moving in lanes, and then we'll do some small conditioning things to get their body moving, get them heat up. So in addition to that, then after we get out of the first few weeks, we're going to move into the transformation phase. Their weight then will be 80 to 70% of their max. So that will be their intensity rate. And for those exercises, we will do 5 sets of 5 on your big lifts, and then 3 sets of 10 again on your auxiliary lifts. So this is going to be kind of where we're working on strength as well, but we're going to start building that endurance and start getting them into their sport specific things and start seeing how all the work that they've done in the first phase is going to add to their game and really work to be built upon in their second one. And then finally, the final stage will be 65% or less of their max lifts. For this one, we will do 3 sets of 8 with a 30-second break in between each set on big lifts, and then we will move up to 3 sets of 15 on our auxiliary lifts. So kind of how we're going to focus on this is going to be, I'm going to say, all right, our focus for this is going to be, the strength or the one lift, one motion that we're really, really focusing on for that day. And then everything will kind of build around that. So we'll work on their upper body, and then we'll have okay, this is really, really upper body focused, but a lot of their big lifts, I'm going to really tell them to focus on the power that they're seeing and the explosiveness and the movement and, just where can they find that last little bit of strength to really push through. And then when we move to auxiliary lifts, we're going to really focus on the muscle movement. So how is the muscle contracting? Are we contracting the smaller muscles as well with the big muscles? Or are we just using other things to make it happen? For example, a lat pull down. Are we really, really contracting the rhomboids along with the lats? Or are we just moving the arms and bending more at the hip to get that last little bit to finish the rep? So with that, I think that, they'll be able to see that move and see see everything stack upon each other. And I think block periodization is a really great technique for this group. It does pose a little bit of a challenge just because there's so many different master competitions in a season, so it does make it a little more difficult to continually see those gains throughout, especially when you're moving from the US Open, which isn't the same time as the Wimbledon. So within block periodization, you have the three week window where the athlete is really performing at their peak, and since these big tournaments aren't in a 3 week window together, it does pose a bit of a challenge. But I think that with the program being set up the correct way, we might be able to get multiple 3 week periods of peak performance out of this athlete. So that is going to be what we're working on, and thank you.